Hey there, soil enthusiasts. Let me tell you about the day I discovered something that completely changed how I think about amending my garden beds. I was standing in my backyard, staring at a bucket of wood ash from our fire pit, about to toss it in the trash. Then it hit me. What if this humble byproduct could supercharge my struggling vegetable patch faster than the biochar I'd been obsessing over for months? Turns out, I was onto something big. While everyone's talking about biochar as the miracle soil amendment, wood ash has been quietly delivering faster, more dramatic results in gardens just like yours and mine. And the best part? You're probably already making it without even realizing its potential. Here's the thing about biochar that nobody wants to admit. It's a long game. Yes, it's fantastic for carbon sequestration and improving soil structure over time, but when your tomatoes are yellowing and your peppers look pitiful, you need results now, not next season. Wood ash steps up where biochar takes its time. The secret lies in what happens the moment ash touches your soil. Unlike biochar, which needs time to develop its full potential as microbes colonize its porous structure, wood ash goes to work immediately. It's loaded with readily available nutrients, especially potassium and calcium, that plants can access within days of application. I've seen struggling brassicas perk up in less than 2 weeks after a proper ash treatment, something I never achieved with biochar alone. Think of it this way. Biochar is like investing in a retirement fund while wood ash is like having cash in your pocket when you need it most. Both have value, but ash delivers that instant gratification we gardeners sometimes desperately need. Let's talk about what's actually in wood ash because this stuff is seriously impressive. When I first tested my ash, I was blown away by the analysis. We're looking at roughly 10% potassium, 25% calcium, and trace amounts of magnesium, phosphorus, and micronutrients. That's a complete fertilizer package hiding in what most people consider waste. The potassium alone makes ash invaluable for fruiting plants. I started applying it around my tomato plants mid-season, and honestly, the difference in fruit set was remarkable. That's because potassium drives flower formation, disease resistance, and overall plant vigor. Your peppers, squash, and beans will absolutely love you for this treatment. But here's where it gets even better. The calcium in wood ash is a game changer for preventing blossom end rot in tomatoes and peppers. I used to lose a quarter of my tomato harvest to this frustrating condition until I started incorporating ash into my soil prep. The calcium carbonate form in ash is highly available to plants, meaning they can actually use it when they need it most. Now, before you run outside and dump ash everywhere, we need to have a serious conversation about pH. Wood ash is highly alkaline, typically ranging between 9 and 13 on the pH scale. This is simultaneously its greatest strength and its biggest limitation. If you're working with acidic soil like I am here in the Pacific Northwest, ash is your best friend. It raises pH faster and more effectively than lime, and it costs you absolutely nothing if you're already burning wood. You know, I've brought sections of my garden from a dismal pH of 5.2 up to a productive 6.5 in a single season, just by using wood ash strategically. It's really quite something. However, if your soil is already neutral or alkaline, adding ash could push you into problematic territory. Plants growing in overly alkaline soil can't access iron, manganese, and other crucial micronutrients, leading to chlorosis and, well, poor growth. The golden rule I follow is this: test your soil first, celebrate if it's acidic, and proceed with caution if it's not. It's a simple step that can make a world of difference. Here's where most gardeners go wrong with wood ash. They either use too much at once or apply it incorrectly. I learned this lesson the hard way after scorching a bed of lettuce seedlings with overzealous ash application. Let me save you from my mistakes. For general garden beds, I work in about 5 to 10 pounds of ash per 100 square feet annually. That's roughly a 5-gallon bucket for a standard raised bed. The key is incorporating it thoroughly into the soil rather than leaving it on the surface where it can create crusting and drainage issues. My favorite technique is to sprinkle ash in the fall after I've cleared my beds, then cover it with a thick layer of compost or shredded leaves. Over winter, rain naturally incorporates the ash deeper into the soil profile, while the organic matter buffers against any dramatic pH swings. By spring, you've got perfectly amended soil that's ready to grow anything. For established perennials and trees, I take a different approach. I'll scratch a thin layer of ash into the top inch of soil around the drip line, being careful to keep it away from the trunk or stems. This gives acid-loving plants like blueberries a wide berth while still treating the rest of the garden. Not all wood ash is created equal, and this is crucial information that could make or break your results. Hardwoods like oak, maple, and fruit trees produce ash with higher nutrient concentrations than softwoods. I save my hardwood ash specifically for the vegetable garden, while softwood ash gets mixed into pathways or composted with other materials. Never, and I mean never, use ash from treated lumber, painted wood, or anything that isn't natural untreated wood. Those ashes can contain heavy metals, arsenic, and other nasties you absolutely don't want anywhere near your food crops. Stick with clean firewood, and you'll be golden. I want to share some concrete results because I know you're wondering if this actually works. Last season, I ran a side-by-side comparison in my garden. 2 identical beds of bush beans, one amended with biochar according to package directions, one amended with wood ash, at the rate I described earlier. So, here's what happened. The ash-amended bed germinated stronger, flowered earlier, and ultimately produced about 30% more beans over the season. The biochar bed performed well too, but honestly, the difference in early vigor was undeniable. This really convinced me that, while biochar absolutely has its place, ash deserves equal billing in our soil-building toolkit. Alright, ready to put this knowledge into action? Start by collecting your wood ash in a metal container with a tight lid. Ash can retain heat for days and obviously presents a fire risk. So, once the ash is completely cool, just make sure to store it in a dry location, because wet ash can actually become caustic and pretty tough to handle. So, it's best to begin conservatively, especially if you've never used ash before. Try testing a small area first, watch how your plants respond, and then, just adjust as needed. Make sure to keep records of where and how much you applied because, honestly, building great soil is all about learning what works in your specific conditions. Remember, the best garden amendments are often the ones already at your fingertips. While the gardening world is always chasing the latest trends, sometimes the most powerful solutions have been sitting in front of us all along, just waiting to be recognized for their true potential. If this ash hack transforms your garden the way it did mine, I'd really love to hear about it. Drop a comment, subscribe to Grow with Soil for more real-world gardening strategies that actually work, and share this with a fellow gardener who's tired of disappointing harvests. Together, we're building better soil and growing food that actually thrives. Now get out there and put that ash to work.